Hello guys and welcome to my channel. Okay, those who are viewing this for the first time, please have a look at the previous videos so as to get better understanding of this. Okay, so in this lecture we'll be doing some of the questions based on trigonometric limits. Okay, so let's start away. First one, limit x tending to infinity under root of x minus sin x divided by x plus cos cube of x. Limit x is tending to infinity, x minus sin x upon x plus cos cube of x. So what form is this? See, when x is tending to infinity, this will be tending to infinity and this will also be tending to infinity, so it will be infinite by infinite form. Clear? So what do we do now is, whenever we get infinite by infinite form, what do we try to do is, we try to make it in form of 1 by x or sin x by x. Okay, in those forms we'll try to make. So for that, what we can do is, we can take this as limit x tending to infinity under root of, if I take x common in numerator, if you take x common in numerator, what do we get is 1 minus sin x by x divided by, if you take x common in denominator, what do we get is 1 plus cos cube x by x. Yes. Okay. So x and x will get cancelled out. Now what remains is 1 minus sin x by x, 1 plus cos cube x by x. Now most of you, when you see this sin x by x, you directly put it as equal to 1, but it's incorrect. Okay, it is when x is tending to 0, but now here right now x is tending to infinity, so this is tending to infinity, this is tending to infinity, this will be incorrect. Okay, so before moving on to this question, what do is, we'll try to first find out limit x tending to infinity, let's say sin x upon x, x tending to infinity. Okay, so if x is tending to infinity, sin x will be a value between minus 1 and 1. It will be a finite value between minus 1 and 1. See, sin x always, range of sin x is, range is minus 1 to 1. Okay, so this value will always be between minus 1 and 1, and this is a very, very large, in denominator x infinite, it is a very, very large quantity. So this whole value, it will come out as 0. This whole value will come out as 0. Same will be the case of limit x tending to infinity cos x by x, it will also come out as 0. For tan x we can't comment because range of tan x also is from minus infinity to infinity, but for sin x and cos x we can be sure that limit x tending to infinity sin x upon x and cos x upon x will both be tending to 0. So from here what do we get is, x is tending to infinity, so this value sin x, any value between minus 1 and 1 by a very, very large value, this will be tending to 0. So what do we get here is, we get under root of 1 minus 0 divided by 1 plus, again cos cube x, cos x will again be between minus 1 and 1, its cube will be a finite quantity, divided by infinite quantity, it will again be tending to 0, so this will be tending to 0. So final answer for this limit again will be 1. Clear? Okay, let's have a look at the next question. The next question is, limit x tending to 0 fractional part of sin x by x. Okay, so till now we were doing questions directly on sin x upon x or tan x upon x, sin inverse x upon x. Now we are involving the fractional part and greatest integer functions also. Now how do we solve these type of questions? Okay, now what we have already seen is sin x upon x in the vicinity of 0, just greater than 0 or just less than 0. That is, if you look at the left hand limit and right hand limit, okay, at x 0 minus or at x 0 plus, sin x upon x, this value will always be less than 1. This value will always be less than 1. What do we write? This is approximately 1 minus h. H is a infinitesimally small quantity, but again sin x upon x is not exactly 1, it's just less than 1 at x is equal to 0 minus or 0 plus. So I can say the value will be 0.999999. So we'll solve the both the limits in the same way, because what? the expression which is determining our limit, it is coming out to be same in both LHL and RHL, and it is coming out to be what? Somewhat less than 1, or let's say 1 minus h. So I can rewrite this limit. What I can do is I can rewrite this limit as limit h tending to 0, greatest integer of 1 minus h, correct or not? Yes, because sin x by x will be now what? 1 minus h, and h is a very small positive quantity. So greatest integer of 1 minus h will be what? 1 minus h itself. So this will be what? Limit h tending to 0, 1 minus h. Again put the value of limit and you will get it as equal to 1. Or what we can say is from here only you can directly write it as equal to 1. See, sin x upon x will be a quantity less than 1, okay, and very close to 1. So this value will approximately be, let's say, 0.999999 and so on. So its fractional part will be what? The same value. The same value you can approximately write it equal to what? 1. You can directly write it equal to 1. So for limit extending to 0, fractional part of sin x upon x, it will always be what? Clear? Okay, moving on. Next one. I'll write 2 questions for you this time. Okay, and pause the video, think over them, and you have to tell me whether they both will be same or not. The first one is limit x tending to 0, greatest integer of sin x upon x. Okay, and the second one is limit x tending to 0, sin x upon x, and finally its greatest integer. What you have to tell me is, you have to tell me, okay, you think by yourself, you can't tell me. You think by yourself, pause the video, think by yourself whether these two will be same or not. Okay. Now those who are thinking they both will be same, you are absolutely incorrect. This is wrong. This is where most of you make mistake. Okay. What's the mistake is, I am going to tell. Okay, we have learned a property that limit x tending to a f of gx. You can write it as f of limit x tending to a gx. Condition is that for whatever x tending to a, if this comes out as m, function f must be defined at m. One more condition to that is the function fx and gx must be continuous at x is equal to a. Both the function f and g must be continuous at x is equal to a. But if you look at here, or here also, both the functions are not continuous at x is equal to a. Here in this case the answer is coming out to be same. In this case also the answer will not be same. See, what do we have here is limit x tending to 0, sin x upon x, and its fractional part. Okay, this and this will also not be equal, and this will also not be equal. Now let me tell you why. Because this function and this function, they both are discontinuous. Okay, they both are, the greatest integer and fractional part are discontinuous, so you can't directly apply this property. So what do? We have to check the left hand limits and right hand limits. Okay, so first part of this is done. Let's solve this. Okay, so whenever you have this type, limit x tending to 0, sin x upon x, this value is always what? 1. The value of limit is always 1. What I am telling you is the value of limit is 1. When it's already mentioned limit x tending to 0, sin x upon x, you'll always write it exactly 1. You'll always write it exactly what? 1. Okay. And finally, after that you apply the fractional part function. But here what do we have is sin x upon x was initially inside the fractional part function, and then the limit was applied. So here the value of this was coming out to be 0.999, which made this equal to 1. But here, you know, this value will be always 1. So what will be fractional part of 1? This will be 0. This value will always come out to be equal to 0, and it will not be equal to this. Okay, same thing happens here also. Same thing will happen here also. What I have already told you is, at near about of 0, sin x upon x is less than 1, that is it is 0.99999 something, so its greatest integer will now be 0. So this value will always be equal to 0. This value will always be equal to 0, and now this. What we have is we have limits inside greatest integer function. Okay, so we can't say that these two are same because greatest integer is not continuous at your x is equal to a. Again, what do? The value of this limit, we already know from standard formula, it is 1. Greatest integer of 1, it will always be 1. Okay, so please be clear when you solve questions like this. This and this are two different things. Clear? So, okay, what will be limit x tending to 0, greatest integer of x upon tan inverse of x. Limit x tending to 0, x upon tan inverse of x. Okay. So what do we have is x upon tan inverse of x. At near abouts of 0, I told you at x tending to 0 plus or x tending to 0 minus x upon tan inverse x. X upon tan inverse x will be what? Will always be greater than 1. Just slightly greater than 1, but will be greater than 1 or not? Yes. So I can say its value will be somewhat 1 plus h, 1 plus a infinitesimally small value. So if you look at this value will be 1 plus h, and greatest integer of this value will always be 1, right? So final answer for this will be 1. And in this case, if you take the greatest integer outside, it will also be coming out to be as 1 only. Okay, but you can't say that these two are same things. You can't say that these two are same. Okay, moving on to the next question. Okay, so the next one is limit x tending to 0, greatest integer of 50 tan x upon x. Limit x tending to 0, greatest integer of 50 tan x upon x. Okay, I'll write one more question. Limit x tending to 0, greatest integer of 100 sin inverse x by x plus greatest integer of 100 tan inverse x by x. So we have to evaluate these two questions. Clear? Okay, starting from the first one, limit x tending to 0, 50 tan x upon x. Just remember the previous questions we have done. Okay, what we have is limit x tending to 0, 50 tan x by x, and it is inside the greatest integer function. Okay, as x is tending to 0 plus or x is tending to 0 minus, what we learned is tan x upon x is always greater than 1. It is just slightly greater than 1, or you can write this is equal to 1 plus h, where h is a infinitesimally small quantity, infinitesimally small positive quantity. H is very small positive quantity. So this will be 1.000000 something. Yes. So this whole value now will be what? 50 into 1.000000 something. It will give you what? 50 point something. So from here what do we get is limit x tending to 0, 50 point something, and the greatest integer of 50.00000 will always be what? It will be 50. It will be equal to 50. Yes. Okay. So this was your first one. The value of limit was coming out to be as 50. Okay, let's have a look at the second one. Okay, again sin inverse x by x. Sin inverse x by x is what? Slightly greater than 1. Sin inverse of x by x is slightly greater than 1 near the vicinity of 0. So this whole value will be what? 1.0000 something multiplied by 100 will give you a value just greater than 100. Or I can write this will be what? 100.0000 something, and its greatest integer, this will be 100 point something. Yes. And now tan inverse of x upon x Here sin inverse of x upon x was slightly greater than 1, and tan inverse of x upon x near the vicinity of 0 is just slightly less than 1. It's just slightly less than 1. So this value will be what now? 0.999999 something multiplied by 100 will give you what? 99 point some value. This value was 100 point something, this value is 99 point something. Again, greatest integer of this will be 100, greatest integer of this will be 99, and your final answer for this will be 199. Okay guys, so that's all about trigonometric limits. Some more methods we use to evaluate trigonometric limits is using expansion, using LH rule, that we'll be doing in further lectures. Okay, so keep these things in mind: tan x upon x, x upon tan x, sin x upon x, x upon sin x. Okay, these values, when you do questions like this, the greatest involving greatest integer functions and fractional part functions, you might make a mistake if you don't remember these values. Okay, so that's it for this lecture. Thank you very much, and please like, share and subscribe if you are enjoying the content.